That is the underlying thing in AA, is that this thing is happening to you and it's out of your control, which is what the Serenity Prayer technically
You're possessed.
is.
Look, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You're possessed. So
which brings up
Synanon,
and Synanon, which is one of the original things of AA.
Do you think that's why
it's a cult that's like AA?
It's a hypnotizing thing when when every time you go to an AA meeting, you feel better from it. It's like they treat it like it's like a drug. Like you go and you feel better, and then
drugs
you
work.
leave.
That's why you need AA.
Yeah. AA is a cult. Synanon's a much more heinous version of that cult, but it is technically a cult.
By the way, marijuana was always on the list when they went through what every drug does to control people. Marijuana was always forbidden to these people because it breaks the programming.
Sorry. Okay, so.
But how LSD doesn't?
LSD helps it. They put LSD on purpose to get anti-war protesters to be jerk-offs.
And that's
LSD,
what they are.
LSD helps it if you let it.
Do you think that they were also like,
yes.
they were also giving people who were like, had really bad PTSD from the war, LSD and stuff to make them, but they're making them to forget stuff because maybe the government did really fucked up stuff to them. So they're like, we need to wash their brains clear so they don't remember.
That's just one drug that they tested, but there's lots of drugs that can wash your brain clear.
Well, they were all doing heroin in World War II, which is why that would be my favorite war to be in.
In World War II, not Vietnam?
In World War II.
Heroin?
Opium, right?
No, opium's
That's Vietnam.
Whatever, Nam. I think they did it in World War II.
I'm sure there was heroin.
In the bunkers, I thought heroin was going on.
No, because you wouldn't be very good.
No, that was the meth war mostly.
Yeah. You wouldn't be very good if you were on heroin. That's what Germany had.
They all had meth. And they do a blitz.
Okay. So I want to talk about.
I've never tried it, but let me tell you about GHB. Because a lot of people don't seem to know shit about it, and they get a lot of stuff wrong. So GHB is if you poison yourself with it, it's going to be real bad. You know, GHB is like it's like 12 hours of sleep to get 4 hours of sleep on GHB. It came out as a bodybuilder thing.
You used to be able to buy it at GNC.
That's right. And so while you're sleeping, you're stimulating human growth hormone. Yeah. It also is like a sexual. It makes people kind of horny. It's not tasteless. It's not a thing. The thing where you like put it in and it changes the color of your drink when they start. GHB, you would never not know it was in your drink. It definitely has a taste to it. Yeah. That's Rohypnol. Okay. Okay. There's something else GHB is good for, and they're using it to treat stuff. And guess what? What? That's infringing on a bunch of separate medications that cost a lot of money. So they made some law, and it's named after a girl's name, like Megan's Law. Sure. Who was not date raped with, there was no GHB involved in her attack at all, but they put her name on it because a pharmaceutical company paid for that.
Oh my God.
It's absolutely, now,
that is so
here's something
fucked
crazy.
up.
It was still bad, but this is like people just forget shit. And they're compartmentalized in their heads.
They don't even need acid anymore, which was my point in being like acid. It depends on who you are as a person of whether or not that's going to make you programmable.
Okay, well, if you're born into a family where you get raped from the time you're 4 by your family members and you split into separate people, you didn't have that happen to you. So no, you're not in control then. They purposely do that to children because the age you're talking about where you go, I know I don't want to do this.
I was talking about the Taylor Swift concert. So what I was saying is that you don't even need the acid anymore because when people are so open to not having an individuality, they can be programmed with far less. You don't need drugs or anything. You can use music or art or the TV.
Or trauma.
Trauma
is the number one thing you need.
I met this girl in rehab and she was diagnosed as a sociopath. And I was like, I really want to be a sociopath. And she goes, I can teach you. It's a learned skill.
Yeah, it's called a secondary psychopath.
She was like, I was left alone a lot as a child, and that's how I developed it for having to learn to fend for myself, and everything was only about like me doing it for myself. And she was like, I'll teach you.
Why is that sociopathic? That just sounds like you're resourceful. Because
she stopped having feelings because she kept being left alone all the time.
Yeah, there's a developmental age.
And then she became so she didn't care about other people because she was like
well, that's a secondary psychopath. That's a sociopath is like you're in the mafia and your dad was in the mafia.
Well, they actually changed psychopath in the DSM-5. They call it an antisocial personality disorder.
Well, that's his sinister.
Oh, they put it under that?
They
That's
changed
interesting. Huh.
The whole time you've been talking about mind control, I have not noticed that you are drinking watermelon White Claw.
Best White Claw there is. It takes exactly 3 White Claws.
I have diabetes. I can't drink this shit, but man, listen, if I had to guess, dude, don't you think drinking White Claw is more dangerous than hanging out with Jesuits or Frankists?
I mean, no, I've never, had my ass fucked while I have flashing lights in my eyes.
You just reminded me. Speaking of getting your ass fucked, Guess what I did yesterday? Colonoscopy.
Oh yeah, that's great. You get
Have you gotten one before?
Oh my God, that's the only way I can get that Michael Jackson milk.
Dude.
Michael Jackson milk. You get milk?
Can we talk about propofol for a second?
Michael had it every night to go to sleep.
Oh my God. Like this, I don't know how
What if he needed that to sleep every night?
Okay, let me ask
you. know why? Because he was innocent.
Yeah, and all the accusations. No,
because he didn't do it, so he needs the dreamless sleep.
Let me tell you. Do you know how hard it is to fall asleep with a lot of kids in your house? They're loud.
You use melatonin? Well, Michael got milk.
Dude, propofol. If you had it in your house, like just imagine this, like it's next to your bed. It's somehow there's a new propofol technology or like a new mattress that injects propofol into you.
Yeah.
Would you use it? Come on. You'd use it. You wouldn't use it.
You know what I would use?
What?
GHB.
Well, I certainly. We were protecting poppy fields over there and the dancing boys of Afghanistan that the army
got. Yeah, I have some guy I know, his brother got his legs blown off guarding a poppy field for a boy fucker.
Jesus Christ.
But like, that's for the East India Company, bro. Well, you got to do that for the opium monopoly and the people we've been talking about.
But then fentanyl came in, so they got rid of, they left Afghanistan because they didn't need it anymore.
The deep state put Saddam in the 60s. He was a CIA MI6 insert into their culture to bring about exactly what they did.
He was a great president. He was the best president in the history of Iraq. Their next president was ISIS. He did the best job of anyone. I'll tell you what they don't.
And that was part of it. Now we later found out like drugs played. I think he had some back pain or something like that, and he got hooked on opiates, which I did too. And I've lost friends to that, and we lost art to that. Fuck the drug companies. I mean,
I know a doctor that was prescribing it to someone I know that got arrested for because they were taking money and they got called out and they're in prison now. Like,
yeah, they were over
15 years or something because they killed people.
They killed people. Died. These clinics were popping up in 2009. There was a thing called Turn to Help. That's how I found Suboxone, right? So there was Turn to Help, and it turns out it was like Pfizer, Moderna, who created the opioid crisis, created a solution. Problem, reaction, solution. David Icke says it, and he's right. So they created the cure, and the cure was worse than the drug, right? But these little clinics and private doctors started popping up that weren't connected to any insurance at first, and they were making money hand over fist, over prescribing the opiate, and then going, "Oh, we can't prescribe it anymore, but we have the solution. We have Suboxone." Right? And at first, I got in early, so it was not generic and it was not covered by insurance. So it was like $1,000 a visit, $1,000 a visit to get unhooked off of opiates. So it was a big scam, and everybody got away with it, except for a few doctors who killed a couple of celebrities, and all of a sudden it got people to actually do something, and start investigating him and putting him away for a long time because they murdered people. They straight up murdered people, and these
vulnerable people.
Vulnerable people.
Even you don't have to believe any of these silly stories, okay? But even in like abduction kind of stories, there's a really great one from Lynn Buchanan where he talks about asking this big head gray why they put this tracker in him, and it didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he goes, "Oh no, that's you guys are antibody factories. So we get space diseases and shit. We put them in this thing and stick them in your body, and then we get antibodies that we harvest." You ever hear anything like that? I never did. But it tracks with where medicine comes from. It comes from some sick fuck snake cults making potions since back in the earliest times. And that's alchemies has to do with that. You're the medium to transform these chemicals. Or if you were ever a cokehead, and like when I used to do cocaine, I liked alcohol with it. So I wasn't really addicted to cocaine. I was into cocaethylene, which is the drug that I made by mixing it in my tummy. That's what this shit is. So there's a list too. I don't know if it's part of MK Often, but I found a long time ago when I first heard of Monarch and kind of dismissed it, there was a very interesting list of drugs and their effects known to the CIA and what does what. And the one that really stuck out, because later in MK Monarch survivor stories, you hear this all the time, they weren't supposed to smoke weed. For some reason, that would screw up their amnesiac barriers. Coke, A-okay. A lot of coke in that program.
Well, I think that marijuana stimulates, actual not only pleasure centers but creative centers in the brain that they have tried to demonize that drug. I mean, you look at
Sativa in particular, I would say does it. I don't like indicas